Hello. I'm here to review Marfy 9463. It's a pencil skirt pattern that they put out in their Marfy Gold section on their older website design before they revamped it a couple of years ago. And I lost track of this after a while, and then I noticed it on somebody else's website or blog on their favorites list, and I was like, oh right, yeah, this one. I have to buy it. Oh man, I hope it's still available. And it was, and ordered it right away. And as soon as I got it, about 3 weeks later, I ended up, making it because I love skirts. I mean, I have so many skirts, it's unreal. But on the other hand, I decided that this particular skirt would go well with a business type setting if you want job interviews or a formal lunch or stuff like that. It made the look complete with my other Marfy blazer that I made that I also documented on my blog, and I can't remember the number of it, but I will put the description here below to tell you what to refer to. So those two things made a complete look that can go with pretty much anything if you're wanting to go out and paint the town red. So also, since today I have really good lighting for where I live, I decided this would be a good time to redo this video because I had done it a while ago and the lighting was so bad. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So now you can actually see something. So I'm gonna just go over the parts of the pencil skirt which are common in most patterns. There is a dart here on the front and a dart there. And on the back, same idea. There's a dart here and a dart here. And originally, the center back seam, it was complete. The zipper was supposed to be on the left side, which I changed. It's the only change that I made that wasn't supposed to be, but I did anyway because I'm a creature of habit, and I thought, well, I'll put in the center back. I'm used to that. It made no difference in the overall look and design of the pattern, so I thought, yeah, let's just put in center back. And my usual thing is to use an invisible zipper, same color. Can't even see it. That's a good thing. So now, the other thing that I want to mention is the flounce and what I did with the ribbon tie at the seam here. Now, most pencil skirts, if you buy them from the Big Four or wherever, they will usually have a facing about yay deep, and that's what you have, and you would add interfacing to it and away you go, right? Well, this particular pattern actually had the lining pieces for it, and that in itself made me not add the interfacing. I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I don't want to do that extra step. It's perfect the way it is. So I ended up, instead of that, I just added the lining and did the understitching here. And if you will focus, there we go. There's the understitching, which is used to make sure that when you wear a garment, the lining doesn't pop out to be seen. It keeps it down below the line of your garment, so most things won't be seen. Now, it might look like I did a poor job here, but actually it does just need to be pressed. That's about it. So other than that, it worked out very, very well. And going down to the flounce area where the ribbon tie is, I noticed that in adding the lining and adding this ribbon tie, I decided that the proper way to do it is to sew the ribbon tie to the skirt and then add your lining, and then that will conceal the stitching of the tie so it won't be seen when you go on the inside. Now what I did was the exact opposite. I added the stitching after I enclosed the lining and the seam where the flounce and the skirt join, and I also finished it off so that it would be all sandwiched together. So why I did that? Well, here it is. I decided to add the lining before I added this was because in case I have to add a new ribbon tie due to damage through no fault of my own or by somebody else, or that it gets caught on something in public and it tears, you know, I thought if I do it this way, it would make it really easy to alter. All I would need to do is take out the stitching, sew up a new ribbon tie, add it again, and away you go. And that would be the least amount of work if something were to go wrong. However, I do admit that it doesn't look so aesthetically pleasing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's okay for me, for my purposes. It's not supposed to be seen. It's not a top stitching on the lining side, so no one's going to see it. But, like I said, for alterations, it's important to make your life easier. Now, the flounce area is very important too, because this needs to be finished when you end up sewing the hem. Now, I didn't make a very large hem, and I didn't really need to. It worked out well for me to have it hand stitched and a blind stitch, because if you wanted a line of stitching to show, that's fine. It's all up to you and what you want to show to the world, what you do in your finishing techniques. That is fine. I always suggest that we finish our edges, because if you don't, it could become damaged due to wear and tear. And like with some people, they just don't have the kind of resources to, you know, always take everything to the dry cleaners. You know, some things have to be thrown into the washing machine, you know, and sometimes washing machines, they're not as gentle if you don't care too much. You know, you just throw it in and you're fine. You know, there's always that element too. So just be aware that any kind of finishing technique is important, whether you choose to use a serge or you use a zigzag stitch or you press it under and sew it down. It's really up to you how you decide to finish your garment. However, the main part here is to finish it. I really don't like having raw edges exposed, whether it be on the lining side or not. I just think that it's just not a good idea because of the wear and tear and how professional your look is after you've completed your project. So other than that, I would say that this skirt came together really, really well and very, very easily. It is no different than any other pencil skirt I've made. And as you may know, if you've read any of my blog posts, I am a fanatic for skirts. I make them all the time, and I pretty much got this down to a science. Now, just because it's a Marfy pattern doesn't automatically mean that it's difficult. This isn't difficult at all. If you have any specific pencil skirt patterns that is pretty much the same design as this, you will have absolutely no problem putting this together. It is very straightforward, and you know, it's just what it is. Make sure that you match up your letter seam points and add your seam allowances where they need to be, and you are good as gold. And until next time, I will do a review on another garment that I made. And you know, in recent times, I haven't been able to make anything because nothing fits me anymore. Everything's too big. So there you go.